Hello, everybody. We are here for Tuesday Talks now. Tuesday Talks is all about getting to know an individual and finding out what makes them tick, what do they care about, and how their career reflects that, and what motivates them to keep going. Now, today's guest is Piotr Ciepiel. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct, Peter. Now, Peter lived 28 years unaware what truly mattered in life, and had a very successful corporate career. You name it, he had it. So throughout, but there came a pivotal moment where he had to go through 16 chemotherapies for cancer, which pivoted him and changed his course of life completely. We're gonna get Peter online here and and get him to tell us all about it. Right, just give us a second. I'll see you, Peter, there. Let me invite you. Hi, Peter. How are you doing?
I am fantastic, phenomenal. Hi, Zishan. How is everyone?
I am amazing. Thank you very much for taking the time out and joining us for Tuesday Talks.
My absolute pleasure. I am truly grateful for the invitation to be here with your community and to be able to share my story and hopefully inspire a few people along the way.
Well, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. Before we start our conversation, I know you wanted to do a little exercise. Let me just put that in context as well for everybody who is with us right at the moment, live in Instagram, and that you are also a master of Soma breathwork recently. And me recently also going through breathwork exercises with a few of my friends, and Kasha also did it in previous episode. I know the importance of it, and it was a wonderful episode after that breathwork. So I know you wanted to take us through something as well. So whenever you're ready, we can begin.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yes, I would definitely recommend such an exercise for anyone. When you start your day, before a meeting, whenever you feel that there's a bit of friction and tension happening in your body, or that you feel a bit of overwhelm, anxiety, I want you to place one hand on your heart, one hand on your stomach. You choose which hand connects deeper with your heart or with your stomach. I invite you to close your eyes if you can. If you're not driving, please close your eyes. If you can, roll your shoulders back and drop them down. And let's pay attention to the silence and to the breath. And I want you to breathe in through the nose, into your diaphragm, into your stomach. Make it expand. And let go through the mouth. Let's repeat it again. In through the nose, soft, subtle, with a smile on your face, and a longer exhalation through the mouth. As if you'll be breathing through a straw out. We'll do this one more time. Breathe in. Shoulders are down, and breathe out. You can open your eyes, you can shake off the wrist, you can roll this, come back to this space, come back to this moment, because this is the only moment that counts. So thank you, Zishan, that I was able to do this for the community, and we're all grounded now. We're all in this moment.
Wow, that was wonderful exercise. Thank you very much, Peter, for getting us to start with this already. And I can already feel myself at ease. No agitation of the whole day that I had. It was a busy, productive day, and then you have to come here and do this as well. So you're like, oh, you so many things going through the head, but now it's all kind of disappeared, and I'm just here present, which is amazing. Thank you very much. So I've done a
Very
short
welcome.
introduction for you already right at the beginning. I don't know if you got to hear that, but you know, you're the best person to do that justice and expand on that. So let the audience know, what do you do, and you know, who are you, what do you do? And the biggest question that starts our teaser talks is, you know, why do you do it, Peter?
Yeah, beautiful questions. I just love those big whys. Why do you do what you do? Yes, so as you've introduced me as Peter. My name is Piotr, but people call me Peter as well. All is well, all is good. So my name is Piotr Ciepiel, and I founded MI Fit Coach, Mindful Fitness. And basically, I help people connect with their physical body. Through their physical body, we touch on the mental well-being and the mindset. And through breathwork, we're able to transform our health and feel connected with not only the body, but also the mind, and also our past and our future, because our breath power, there's so much power in knowing how to breathe, in regulating our breathing, then and it's all in us. It's like it's the inner pharmacy. The breath, it truly can either energize us or can relax us. So as we've done the longer exhalation, I definitely recommend anyone to do this longer exhalation if they want to rest, digest, relax, prepare for the meeting, and really come out much calmer and better equipped to be in this moment, in this present moment. So what I do is I help individuals. I mainly guide and mentor people that are on their way to lead teams and lead as well, not only in their life, but also in their businesses. And I help them basically to have a stronger, fitter, healthier body, physical body, but also lose the body identification, meaning that if, and it will happen, we all age, so the body changes. So if we drop the fact that this body should be a certain way, if we stop comparing ourselves, if we stop judging ourselves and our body for how it looks, if we just relax, let go of how we should be, how our weaknesses are suddenly magnified by us, and and we ignore the strength, we become beings, as they say, spiritual beings in a human form, right? We are on this path, we're on this journey to really explore, be of service, be adventurous, be in love with everything that Mother Nature and the Creator has given us. So what I do, I basically help people to reconnect with the form through breathwork, through meditation, and through mindful movements. Because if you move a specific way and you pay attention to the muscles that are working, to the placement of the joints, to the alignment, and when you start cheering for yourself, if you start applauding, appreciating, because we just spend so much time on dwelling and on the overwhelm and just focusing on, oh, I could have done this. Why haven't I done, 2 more repetitions? This person looks better than me. And like, we've all been there, and I've learned as well that through my journey, the best way to truly move the body is to cheer for yourself, give yourself high fives whenever you can, also through the mindset. And anytime I pass a mirror, I high five as well myself. And please do that. It's just a super powerful technique to have that imprint as well. And then through breath work, we help to get that connection even deeper and stronger. So I work with not only individuals, but also in the corporate setting with many organizations, many businesses that basically want the best for their employees. From my own background, which we're definitely going to touch on, I've been in the corporate world. So my story is very relatable. And I have gone through burnouts, I have gone through stress, I have gone through a lot of moments in which I thought that the business is me. Mm-hmm. So I disidentified myself with who I am, what me, Piotr, what I want, what I need, what I want to do. So I became almost merged with the business that I was working with. And yeah, I had no personal goals, no admiration for myself. It was all business. So I help businesses now to help their employees to, yes, increase productivity, yes, increase job satisfaction, but also come into a work environment on a morning and be happy and be truly ecstatic. You know what? It was a great weekend with my family, but now I'm doing a job that I actually really like doing. And I'm going to be giving my 110% in the team that I love, that supports me. And then we just work on mobility, flexibility, releasing tension and stress from the body. We're working on meditation. It's still a very scary word. Meditation still is. So it all, sometimes I like to pack things. So I always go into a business and I find out, how are we going to approach exercise? Should we call it movements? Should we call it, so you just kind of, you have to know, once I'm in, we can start exploring the vocabulary, because words do have a strong connotation, and you know yourself from your past episodes. And then we do our breathwork sessions, and it's incredible to see how people have disconnected themselves from what they can do in the physical form that they're in. So yeah, so I help people through online workshop retreats. We've just finished. I'm in Ibiza right now. Yeah. Hi from Ibiza.
Oh, hey.
And I have, we just finished a wellness retreat here. We're going to have another retreat coming up on Saturday for 8 intense days, where we're going to be moving, we're going to be breathing, we're going to be meditating. So I do workshops, I do speaker events, I tell my story, I try to inspire, motivate, and give people that extra, I always like to say, kind push, because I do believe that through kindness, you can truly bring a person with you. It's like, I like to literally hug people. I'm a hugger.
Once we meet, I'm a hugger as well.
Yeah, I hug and I hold the hug. We are literally in the hug for sometimes even like 30, 40 seconds. And it's incredible to see how awkward it is at the start. How people are really like feeling like, oh my God, why are we still hugging? But then suddenly the breath between the two people just merges the bodies, and the energy becomes one. Suddenly the breath calms down, and we know that we're just connected on a deeper level than just the physical form. So I love to work with energy, the body, the mind, the spirit, however you want to call it. I'm truly blessed to be able to do all these practices, because I know how much they have helped me to really be in the position where I am right now, and to be the person that I am right now, and with that high vibing energy that I want to affect everyone with.
I really love that, and you can obviously hear that in your conversation. The energy is there, even though you're miles away in Ibiza, and for a retreat and everything, but you can hear that already, the high vibes, the excitement and everything, and it's amazing that that what you're doing for corporations at the moment, because it's needed. Me coming from a background of corporate companies as well, you can easily get burned out, especially I was in sales as well, so you know how it is. It's a numbers business that time. What's happening every week, the numbers not adding up, you're gonna have a bad month. So you're like, that drives you, and there's nothing else after that. You need to just follow that number. You need to somehow double it, triple it, whatever. And at the end, like by if you, and obviously it's divided into quarters and half years and all that stuff. Your first quarter, you're already like dying. You're like, oh my God. So because you're trying to catch up, and then you're thinking, oh my God, the rest of the year is going to be just terrible if my first quarter is like this. I need to double down in summer now.
Yes,
there goes my summer out the window. So exactly, and I can see how the breath work and how the movement and meditation, maybe rephrasing that word somehow, can help ground people and get them to do the right way of work, which is needed, because you are able to then do more. It's how I always looked at it, it's a reset button. I know the corporation takes us to team building events and all that stuff, but that team building is, in my view, the ones that I've been on were great, fantastic. We get to bond with each other and everything, but it's not getting you to switch off and relax for a little bit, because you're still wired. Like they're still saying gung ho, let's go, you know, this, abseiling and all that stuff. Like, yeah, fantastic. But if that is your work environment as well, and then you brought it to a team building event, it's the same environment. You're not letting them slow down and connect with each other and be right. And then you can say, okay, one day maybe we will do this. The next day we'll have Piotr come along and then you do that, you know, and then everybody will be great. But I can see now more and more corporations that are actually open to this as well, because it was all taboo subject before, isn't it? Like, oh, what, this? No, we're not doing any of that. So I can see now how it can be adaptable and get them to, it's like resetting your phone, you know, like when you're using your phone and you're trying to do stuff and it not responds and everything. What do? You reset it, you switch it off, and then turn it back on. And what does that reset? It just resets it, calms it down, stops everything which is working, and then starts it fresh. And that's what we need to do with our bodies, ourselves as well. Is to find 100%. Find that space, reset ourselves, and then start back up again, right? And I love that you just brought that to my mind when you were having this story that you're saying. So which brings me to, you know, like if you take us with your journey of what pivoted you to actually hone into this side of the world and, you know, start doing these things a bit more passionately.
I do think that a person either goes through something very dramatic in their own life or sees the drama in their environment, you know, whether their family, something has happened, you know, we might have lost someone, we've seen someone really suffering and has really affected us. So in my case, I mean, up until the age of 28, which you mentioned at the start, I was leading a very successful, on the exterior side, life. Very successful. I was climbing up the ladder of success. I was working for some of the top businesses and we were bringing in millions of revenue. My team was a team of 100 to 150 to 200 people, all depending on seasons. And yes, exactly as you said, the figures, you know, we were juggling between figures from morning breakfast time to lunchtime to hitting then numbers in the afternoon. And I had no switch off. I was constantly in work. And what happened, and I do believe as well, we talk a lot about burnout, but I do have this sense that people that are going through burnout, they don't know that they go through burnout because they're so deep in. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're really deep in. So they obviously think that this is exactly the way it should be. And, you know, they go faster. They respond to more emails. They want more. They take on more responsibilities. And that was exactly me. That was exactly what I was doing. I was going on holidays, very proud to be still calling my assistants and my secretaries, just double checking if everything's still okay and running out. You know, so I was very proud that I'm on holidays, but I'm just making sure that everything goes. Yeah, exactly. High five to that. So and then it got to the point where, although I loved the company that I worked for, the thing about it is I really loved the connection that I had with people and with my team and the way I was motivating them to get the results, to get the targets, etc. So that was all fantastic. But as I was going through day by day life, I was feeling really exhausted. I was really feeling tired. And bear in mind as well, at that time, I wasn't working out. There was no movement in my life up until the age of 28. So I always say, well, I'm a good example of a person judging a book by its cover. Well, in my case, know my story. And then you'll see that actually this guy wasn't fit or wasn't even going anywhere near the gym or training for 28 years of his life. Purely because as I was a teenager, I was bullied physically and mentally in school by athletes, by the sporty guys. I was just the average kid. I created this association: sport equals bully, fitness equals aggression and anger. So I was like, I don't want to have anything to do with that, because I was on the receiving side. So it was very hurtful and painful. So for many years, I was exactly living in that bubble that I made, that my mind made, because it's for the mind, it's it's easier to label things, to put things into drawers and be like, oh, this is, oh, athlete, bully, oh, so it's just easier for the mind. Otherwise, it would just go on overdrive. So for 28 years, no sports, no meditation. I tried once to meditate, and it was, I remember it still as it was yesterday. I sat down, and it took me maybe a minute to realize that's not for me. I'm too busy. I'm too productive for this. This is a joke. I'm not, this is not for me. So I just decided not to do it. And then, about breathwork, I had no idea about breathwork. So basically, I was just work, morning, evening, lunch, always working. But it got to the point where I was so tired and so exhausted that I started to manifest. I used that word back then, but now I'm using it quite often. And I do believe we are very strong in manifestation, all of us. Either if we think we're not, that's a manifestation. We're constantly, whatever we say and we put an emotion with it, the feeling with emotion, with a thought, the manifestation amplifies. It becomes something that will eventually happen. The only thing that we are struggling with is time and patience. We think we should have something now, where the universe, as I like to call it, likes to just, give us the time, give us a couple of challenges on the way, and then the manifestation happens. So what I was doing, I really wanted to have a break, and I really wanted to be on sick leave. So I really wanted to get sick, and I asked for the flu. And the universe was very generous and gave me the flu. And I was thanking. So once you're thankful for your manifestation, it even just becomes something so energetically big and just vibrational. It evolves, and it's vibrations. It's just, we're all vibrations. It's all energy. So after a week of being out with the flu, I went back to work, super happy, again, amazingly positive. Yes, I can do this. I needed that rest. Now I'm fine. But again, work caught up. Exhaustion happened again, tiredness, stress levels. All these meetings that you probably had as well, where there's a question asked and there is an immediate answer wanted.
Yes.
And that's not the way it should be. It should be, the question is asked, and we all should be leaving the meeting in our own space and come back with and then we have the ideas. But of course, that doesn't happen. Some companies it does. So that's, we're on the right path. Anyways, so going back to this, so I started to really ask for something serious. And I remember I asked for angina, and I had angina. 2 weeks off sick, again, very thankful. And I do believe that the universe was very surprised and also very like, wow, amazing. Let's keep helping this guy. This guy is, kind of asking for it. So in January 2012, I was feeling really unwell. I lost around 7 to 10 kilograms in the space of a week. Went to my local doctor. I was told it's fine. This is just a bowel infection. So we'll give you some antibiotics, because basically no food was holding on to my body. There was no fuel, so my body had no way to even feel fit enough to just continue with the everyday activities. But then I took the antibiotic, but the week after I lost another 7 kilograms. And now at this stage, my face was going really, you could see the sickness. I was, there was no health anymore in me. So I had to go to the hospital, and I'm very grateful that I was amongst amazing doctors, but they did a week of tests, and I had bone marrow taken, x-rays, scopes, everything, because they had no idea what was going on. Why suddenly a 28-year-old, young, strong guy is going through all this? And then eventually I was called in to the doctor, the leading doctor, and was told, we found cancer cells.
Wow.
So at that stage, it was like in a movie. I didn't hear anymore what the doctor was saying. I just saw him opening his mouth. And I remember literally saying to myself, did he just say the C word? Did he just mention cancer? Has anyone else heard this? Like, it was just like what is? So Yeah, so I mean, so from that moment onwards, I had to undergo chemotherapies, and throughout the process, I slowly withdraw myself out of work. Still wanted to work, so I was still working up until my third chemotherapy, because
Wow.
obviously it affects everyone differently, and obviously because of the dosage and the different chemicals that are in there. So I still wanted to work because I didn't want to stay at home and have my mind occupied with the disease. I also, in the first full year, never mentioned the word cancer. I used maybe 3 times the phrase "the big C" when I was talking to people, and I still remember as well that I never thought that I will die. I also never thought that this is that, and I always knew that this is something greater. This is me really having to step up in this game of life. And intuitively, I started to really read more about the human body, the physiology, how everything works, what's going on, because I was also kind of going from being a full-time 24-hour meat eater to fully vegan to pescatarian. So it was just all things, I was trying to challenge myself with different kind of life food style choices. I don't use the word diet, by the way.
Which is right word, which is correct.
Yeah.
It's not diet, it's a food's lifestyle choices.
Correct. And somebody very clever said to me once, diet has the word die in it.
Exactly.
Let that sink in. So yeah. So basically, so it got to the point where I was studying my own body. I was getting back into meditation. I started to go, as I was going through chemotherapies, to the gym, starting to really work on on my muscles, doing stuff from YouTube, trying to really see what I can do to create that health from within and that strength from within. Because something deep down inside told me that this is your moment to truly, take a full-on pivoting moment where you're looking at your path, and it's almost like, is this really the path that you want to continue on? I mean, nothing on your path called life is a mistake. Nothing. Everything is part of it. But I was just like, wow, I feel like these are now huge signposts, alarm bells that the universe is throwing at me. If I don't react to it, if I don't learn from it, I might just I might be lost, but as a human being, and I might just completely not see the potential that this body, this spiritual being has to be of service to communities, to other people, and to himself. And yeah, so throughout a year and a half of 16 chemotherapies, I was able to study as well exercise and fitness at university. I was going to the gym around 6 o'clock in the morning when I started to have my first patches, when my hair was falling out. But I was very focused. The beauty of the whole process was that I was every day living that day. I was in the moment. I wasn't thinking about what I will do next year, where I will be next year. I wasn't. I was just really focusing on what I could control. And what I could really control was just the fact that I'm awake. I should be grateful. There was literally, intuitively, there was a gut feeling. And this is exactly one thing that I bring in with my clients, to come back to that gut feeling, to come back to your heart. Your body knows. Your body knows exactly what you should be doing. People get lost. I don't know what my mission is, what my purpose is. I'm like, because you're allowing the mind to tell you. The mind will never tell you this. The mind.
Yes.
The mind is survival. The mind just wants to protect you. The mind will just say, don't do this, better not. No. Oh no, this is scary. Don't. That's the mind's job. The mind is analytic, logical. It knows past. It knows, worry for the future, anxiety. But the body, as an entire incredible machine, the heart, the gut, this is the living organism that will give you the push to go, yes, you can do this. This is your path. Keep trusting. So after that year and a half, I went back to work. I went back to the corporate world.
Oh, wow.
But with a completely different mindset. I was I still had, my team was there, And I still remember, addressing at one of the morning meetings, the sales, the figures, the targets, what we're going to do. And then I just asked the question, how are you guys? And they were like, yeah, we're fine. And I was like, no. How are you, Helen? How are you, Mick? How are you? And I suddenly started to see that people started either crying, like they were just unexpectedly. One person asked me, do you want to fire me? What have I done wrong?
Oh, no.
Yeah, it got to, and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I mean, I really love this connection that I have, but I really want people to feel this kind of beauty that we all have as a community, as connection, with other humans. So I started to then see that I need to get out of the corporate world, but come back to the corporate world in a different form, in a different shape, in a different mindset, and be the leader for the corporate world, for the well-being world, and help people from part-time students to CEOs and leaders to come back to their body, appreciate what they already have, be grateful, start movement practices, journal practices, meditations, breathworks, and then see how they can be fulfilled and still be in the corporate world. Because I never want to pull people out of the corporate world. That's not my intention. People, it's all good to be in the corporate world, but it's just paying that attention. So yeah, so that's a long story, but I hope that it has helped a few, and I hope you're glad what you just heard.
I know. I actually love it. And when you were sharing out, I was literally picturing my own journey there, because there were so many similarities there. I mean, I have gone back to the corporate world as well, but as a completely different role, much more calmer, much more collected, much more focused. I have more focus now. I still achieve my targets way ahead of time now, but I am not agitated and anxious about them as before. And it's a whole completely 360 turnaround. And I was like just thinking of that, and it's amazing to hear that from you as well and resonate with it so much. It's like, wow, this, and what I was thinking, as you were saying, a lot of people don't realize when that burnout is happening. I certainly didn't as well, until one time I was just like, you know what, I literally just wanted to leave everything and and just sit down somewhere, just leave everything and sit down somewhere, and that was the feeling I was having. I'm like, everything just needs to stop, and I am just sitting somewhere, and that's it. Doesn't matter wherever I am, I'm just want to sit down. And I can see that, obviously I kind of manifested something similar and all that stuff, but that got pivoted across, and I had that pivotal moment of deciding to actually leave the company and then start doing my own things. And then one of the colleagues called me back and saying, oh, we've got a new whole team, and I've been following your journey online. You're the best person for it, come around. And we were like, are you sure? And then I was like, are you sure I can come back in? You know why I left, right? So I'm not the same person you knew before. I'm completely changed. Like, no, you're the person for it. And they were right. So everything has gone tenfold since I've been there. And it's amazing to hear that from you, how you can change and then go back into it. So taken away from, corporate world gets a bad rep. There's nothing bad there, but it's just the world, how it's driven, right? It's a bit like people who like driving. I love driving, but now there are bad drivers, there are good drivers, there are racer drivers, which I kind of fall into sometimes, but I am very confident in my I am confident in my driving. So if you're a passenger and you tell me I need to be somewhere in 10 minutes, buckle up, we'll be there in 10 minutes, So, and that's what it is. So, but it's all about being confident with yourself and knowing what your body is asking for, which what I heard from your story, your conversation there, is to know and tune yourself into what your body is asking for and listen to it. Just don't be plugged into the mind. The mind is there, does a lot of stuff. And when you mentioned the mind, I was thinking of the Windows laptop. Once upon a time, I used to have these Windows laptop, and every time you were trying to do something, Windows will go, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to delete this file? Are you sure you want to make these changes? I'm like, man, I am doing it. What do you mean I am sure? And then that was just going through my mind when you were sharing. I'm like, yeah, it's just like the Windows laptop, right? That's what mind is, right? So my mind is like, you sure you want to do this? yeah, like I am doing it, so of course I'm sure, you know. So but your body will guide you to it, and take you through it. If you're in tune to it, I follow my gut for a long time, so I agree 100%. If you tune yourself into your gut, you are led to a successful path. Everything happens for you.
Yes.
No matter what you're thinking of, it will happen for you because it's with your gut feeling. So for a long time, I mean, I've been this is something I've learned recently, that these things are happening, but I've been doing that since teenage time. I've been tuned with my gut, and I thought everybody was the same, you know, because I'm like, everything just happens. I'm thinking of stuff and it just happens. But I thought it was the same for everybody. When I had that conversation, people be like, no, and people will be like, I'm struggling on this. I'm like, oh, I don't know what that is. Because I didn't have those kind of problems. So I had to rephrase the words, because I was, you know, I don't use the word problems anymore. I'm just using, for the podcast reasons, and struggling, I don't use that word anymore, because there's no struggles, there's no problems, only challenges. Yes, only challenges, only obstacles.
Yes.
Right? So you have obstacles and challenges. So what do we do with obstacles and challenges? We overcome them, right? So everything else, it doesn't exist. So there's no problem.
Absolutely.
What do you do with the problem? It's not a math equation that you're going to solve it. You know, unless you want to do it. You know, mathematician, you can sit down and start solving it. But yeah, I love this, you know, that you shared and you took us through that journey. So now, since you've pivoted across and you now been going through your breath work, and obviously you're helping now all these corporations and your one-to-one clients as well to tune themselves back into themselves, basically get themselves to know better. And I love the fact that you shared, you know, people who are lost in terms of I don't know what my purpose is, what am I doing this thing. And I have the same feeling in terms of, if you are in tune to yourself, your purpose shows up. If you don't need to look for it, if you're looking for it, that means you're not going to see it. What happens when we're looking for our keys for the car? You never find it. It's there, but you never see it. And then you say, okay, I don't need the keys anymore, and it just appears, right? And that's what happens with your purpose as well. You don't need to look for it. You just need to continue following your gut, your North Star, your compass, whatever's leading you. You follow that, and it will just appear and happen. So since you've been doing this and guiding everybody and everything, how is your routine now? Some people like to call it rituals, you know, because routine is, again, somebody like, oh, I don't like routine. It means I have to stick to it. But okay, ritual maybe. So is that something you do when you wake up and throughout the day, and at night as well? Oh,
Absolutely.
Master Niraj has joined.
Oh, Master Niraj has joined. Hello, Master Niraj. Talking all good things about Soma breath. Absolutely, I do believe that you have to have a strong beginning of your day, and you have to focus on yourself. I really like to use the word, you have to be selfish first. You do. There's nothing wrong with being selfish, because if you don't tune in to what you need in the morning, you won't be able to tune in for the rest of your day with yourself, never mind the whole world. But I would actually always like to start saying that the morning routine starts the night before. Because the morning routine is actually a follow-up on how you went to bed. So what I do, I love gratitude. When I lie down in bed, I start saying to myself in my mind the things that I'm grateful for that happened throughout that day. And I always kind of reverse engineer it. I go back and I fall asleep with such a big smile on my face, knowing that, you know, this was a really successful day. Because the next morning when I wake up, I feel really connected. That, you know, the gratitude from last night has amplified throughout my dreams, throughout the nighttime, when the body was resting. And then in the morning time, I already feel energized. And so in the morning, when I get up, water is the first thing I do. I've always have a big cup of water. I down it. Then I have another cup. I down it. Then I do a breath hold time. So basically what that means is you'll be able to check your health through holding your breath. So by holding your breath, you actually check the oxygenation of your tissues in your body. And your body is telling you constantly how efficient you are with using oxygen, how tolerant you are to CO2, how you're breathing. Are you a mouth breather? Are you a nasal breather? Remember as well, nose is for respiration, mouth is for digestion. You know, we kind of got this wrong. I mean, we are talking now and we are using a lot of obviously words and we're breathing through the mouth. It's but every time you were talking, Zishan, when I was shutting my mouth, I was focusing on nasal breathing. So if you can do this as often as possible throughout the day, to come back to your breath by breathing through your nose, and just stay with that inhale and exhale through the nose. Allow the other person to talk, or whatever is happening, whatever you're doing. When you're driving a car, breathe through your nose. Just shut that mouth. It's doing a lot of talking. You don't need to breathe as well. It's doing a lot of talking and it's doing a lot of eating. It's okay. So then what I do afterwards, I do a breathwork session. Normally there will be a 22-minute. We've got an amazing daily dose. You can get them, access them as well on YouTube. Also on my YouTube channel, I teach the daily doses as well. They're for free, so everyone has access to that. And it's a nice rhythmical breathing with exhalation holds and inhalation holds for that kind of more greater experience for going into these higher state of meditation, because breathwork is mindfulness. It is a practice that brings you into that meditative state. And then I'm a very visual person. So throughout all these meditations, I'm receiving a lot of ideas, visions, and what I want to do. So I journal. So I journal afterwards, and I make sure that I write down all my ideas, all plans for the day or for my life, however I need to slightly change up my business plan, or or suddenly a client comes to me in my meditation. It's incredible. And then straight after that, the only thing is what I'm going to say with morning routine and any routine really is that it's so easy to go into a stressful spiritual burnout as well. Be mindful of that. Where people that have gone through stressful corporate burnouts very easily jump right back into a spiritual burnout. An hour of meditation, 2 hours of breath work, movement, like connecting to higher sources, and suddenly you're like, and I was like that as well. I had a list of things on my to-do list, on my morning.
Becoming regimented, right? You're becoming regimented.
Yes. And I had a morning routine to-do list, and from 8 things, I haven't done, for example, one thing, and I was beating myself up. I was like, how could you? But meditation, breath work in the morning, stretching for the whole body. I do full-on stretches as I watch your podcast, for example, or listen to your episodes or YouTube. Like, I do all that as I stretch the body. And then the greatest gift that I've received from Mind Valley and from Lisa Nichols, who I love and adore, is mirror work. Self-care mirror work, as I call it. So basically, I say out loud my name, and I say, Piotr, I am proud that you. Piotr, I am proud that you are helping people to reconnect with their body. Piotr, I'm proud that you're reaching out to people, that you're reaching out to Zishan, and you're doing this podcast live right now, and you're able to connect with a bigger community and explore new possibilities of interacting with people and collaborating. And so I do 7 different things. Then I say, Piotr, I forgive you for comparing yourself to others. But I forgive you for only seeing your body as something that is not worth it. Because I had also issues with body identification and body dysmorphia, where I just really did not like the way my body looked, because I believe that I need to look a certain way to be accepted, to belong. So, and then the third thing is, so Piotr, I am proud, Piotr, I forgive you, and Piotr, I commit. I commit that today you will make that Zoom client a very happy client who's going to be encouraged to work further on their goals and their dreams. So with the meditation, breath work, drinking water, the mirror work, I also take an ice cold shower, because that is the state where I start jumping as well in the shower, and I go, I love my life. I love my life. I really do.
Wow.
And again, as you set yourself up for the day, through this kind of exposure to cold exposure or sauna, you're able to really go deeper, and your goals, dreams, they will become reality, because you have now attached your feelings, emotions, that kind of higher hyped up state to something that you really want to go to, your
Yes.
North Star. And then it's just easier. I mean, I know it's going to be a conversation probably for the next time, but that's exactly how I ended up also at Mind Valley, Berlin, where I met our mutual friend, Elke. But yes, it's incredible. Once you believe it, you feel it, you're emotionally attached to it, you can do anything you want. And then I start my day. With a big smile. I've already done all these things for my body, my mind, my spirit, and I can then contact my clients and lift them up, encourage them, and start workshops, check my calendar. Am I flying somewhere? Am I doing a speaker event? Am I doing this? My Instagram, my LinkedIn. So yeah, that's
Wow.
kind of what I do.
That's actually that's a very exciting routine ritual, you know, because by the time you actually are ready to start your day, you're already like hyped up and you're in that higher state of mind already. I was just getting excited by just listening to you. Like, imagine if I was doing that. And I 100% agree with the cold shower thing. I mean, I don't do full on cold shower, but what I do is, obviously, it's a practice thing. I have a shower and everything, and then I start dropping the temperature. Once I've had my shower and everything now, but I can now start dropping the temperature. I start dropping the temperature, and slowly I do it. So that just means I'm in the shower maybe another 10 minutes because I'm slowly doing it. But once I come out of that cold water, I notice that I feel much more alert, much more awake. My senses are much more alert as well. So I'm responding very quick. But the days I miss out, right, I'm in a rush. I'm like, okay, no, I'm falling behind. So I'll just have a normal shower and head out. That day, I feel sluggish straight away. And I'm like, yes. So 100%, the cold water is 100% is a thing, everybody who's listening to us today. And I love that you shared about gratitude. You know, gratitude is something I got into very late in life, but I was doing some form of gratitude. And I think everybody does a form of gratitude without knowing it's a gratitude. You know, I mean, I was always at the end of the day thankful for the day that I've come back home, right? Because I could have been hit by a car, hit by a bus, whatever accidents could happen, and all that stuff. So I would have been all right. Oh, I'm thankful that I have come home. It's been, let's say, in those times I would use the word stressful and all that stuff. So it's been a stressful day. I have survived. You know, I'm home. I'm great that I'm sitting down and having my cup of tea at home. So I used to be happy for that. I am at home now, and I'm in my zone that I can. So I think people are already doing that without knowing. So it's a case of now taking that to a next level and actually acknowledging yourself and giving yourself permission to be at ease and acknowledging that you are actually the one doing things. That's what I heard from you. You know, the mirror exercise from Lisa Nichols that you perform, and it's brilliant to actually see if people are able to try. Now everybody is different, so I always say in these episodes that you're listening to, try, see what works for you, right? So it might not work for you, it might work for you, and that's the purpose of this episode as well, is to create that inspiration for you to take that step and actually try things out. What works, you keep that with you.
If I may say and add to that, exactly, I don't want this to kind of sound like I'm having a positive day every single day. No. I am human. No, I'm a human being. I have my doubts. I still have my programs, my limiting beliefs, my past traumas that I'm going through, and I help people as well to awaken, you know, some of the trauma so they can be dissolved and released. You know, and that's why I love to work with the body, because the body stores all the stress and all the traumas. And, you know, but the only thing what I've started to do, and as you mentioned this beautifully, because at the very start, when I started the practices, I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. I couldn't look. It's not about looking at your hair. You have to look into your eyes. That's where the soul is.
Yes.
So it was very hard for me to look at myself. The first couple of times I cried. There was so much pain. There was so much. I couldn't say, I love you, Piotr, I love you. I couldn't. It was something that I was, you know, I could love everyone else, but not love myself. Getting love from everyone else, but not love myself. That's why I mentioned about being selfish. You have to be self-oriented first. Focus on you first, and then you'll be able to give from that container to the rest of the world. And as you mentioned about doing it kind of like, absolutely, whatever will resonate with you, try it, but try something. Try it. Try whatever it is. Maybe it could be a cold shower. Maybe it could be just like just a little cold. Maybe you'll just put some cold shower on your legs. That's good enough. I mean, you know, we don't. I'm not expecting you to suddenly do a full-on cold shower for 20 minutes with breathing exercises. No, easy. And have patience on your journey. And on the days when you're not feeling it, don't try to suddenly change it because you have to be positive. No, no, no. These moments are there to teach you, to be with you. You can maybe journal during those days, see how you feel. So you can, I love journaling and my own handwriting, because then you connect with pen and paper. This is a deeper connection than a computer. So I do journal a lot. But in those days when you're not feeling it, accept it. Do as much as you possibly can. Don't be too hard on yourself. You're not, you know, you don't need to do all the practices today. If you just did a bit of breath work, a bit of movement, if you just rolled your shoulders, if you just done the exercise we've done, place your hand on your heart and on your gut and connect with your breath and connect with, you know, the beauty that you are, the divine. You are the divine. You, me, we are divine. You know, so if you start doing all these little things, you start seeing that all the pieces add up to an amazing life. Because life is neither good or bad. Life is, full stop. There is, you know, we are putting, and, you know, like, we need to understand that whatever we make out of this life is the perception, is the lens that we have on.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%. And you know, you said earlier very briefly, and I was resonating with it 100% in terms of, you know, what people are trying to do is, you know, when they hear these stories or journeys, or look at people on YouTube and Instagram and thinking, oh, every day is a happy day, and it's not. We do have off days. Maybe we are, you know, nobody is sharing those off days maybe on Instagram and YouTube and everything, because
I am.
There you go.
Always.
So you are, well, so watch Piotr's stories, then there's off days as well. So, and I have actually come across those stories, right? So where you are more vulnerable and sharing those vulnerabilities. So what I wanted to also acknowledge, that what you've just said there, and it resonated with me 100%, is to acknowledge those days and, you know, let it sit with you. And because what I say is, these are emotions at that moment. They are just like waves. They come and they go, right? So, you know, as we all go to the beach, and what do? We go to the beach and we stand in front of the waves at the banks, right? We're just there and let the wave hit us, and you're like, whoa, and you're trying to balance, and then you're trying to balance yourself and laughing at each other because they're falling down, and right, and that's what's happening, right? We have these off days. The off day is basically a wave coming at to you and then displacing you, right? Because you were like having fun, because you were at the beach, now water and excited and everything. Now comes a strong wave and now moves you, and then you're like, oh yeah, what do I do now here? I don't know. What do you do at the beach? You stand your ground firmly, right? And that's what you need to do as well. Stand your ground firmly. That could be taking a break, sit down at home, take a walk, look up. I always say to everybody, look up at the sky for a few minutes, right? Because nobody looks up at the sky ever. But if you look up at the sky, your mind opens up, because what does it see? It sees never-ending sky. There's nothing there, right? So when it sees there, it opens up your peripheral vision as well. It opens it up, and then when it sees no limit, it opens up, and your mind then expands internally anyway. So you are able to do more. You can absorb more, because when we are down, we just focus into this narrow tunnel vision, because we are focused on the task. We focus on whatever we are doing, and that's what it is. So yeah, I urge people to try things out from the episodes they are listening to and what you're sharing. Be open to the vulnerability side and accept them as they are. It's just a wave. It'll come and then it'll go, and then you're ready for the next one by that time. I love that you just reminded me of that. Piotr, we will be shortly, you know, finishing the episode soon. What else would you like to share with the listeners now here? If they wanted to also get in touch with you, what's the best way? And what have you got something in the pipeline they should look out for, and X, Y, Z? Yeah.
Thank you for those questions, and it was a beautiful episode. Honestly, thank you so much for all your questions. Thank you for the insights as well, and the fact that I could share so much from the heart. I hope everyone felt it as well and was able to connect. I do want to say that first of all, the main message that I want people to remember from this as well, to be kinder to yourself. Whatever you do, do it with kindness, appreciation, and acceptance that everything takes time, and be patient. Let go of time, restrictions, limitations. Be patient, keep doing. I love the quote, luck is preparation meeting the point of opportunity. It's my favorite quote. Because if you keep on preparing day by day, just a little bit, the fruits will come. You're planting seeds. Be patient. Nature doesn't hurry. Why should you? Honestly. So just in regards to that that's how I like to teach as well. So whoever would like to contact me and have a free discovery call with me in regards to their overall health, physical, it's all connected. People start training with me in regards to their physical appearance or physical health, and suddenly realize that this impacts tremendously their mental well-being, the way they breathe, because I make sure that I add these little things constantly and everywhere. So the main message will be move a little bit more. I always say move please, #move please. Just move a little bit more. Be conscious about the movement that you're doing. Be appreciative of the movements. Be more as you said as well about the sky. That's a gift that we all have. Doesn't matter where you live. You can be down in London, in Dublin. You can be in Barcelona. We have the same sky. If you just allow yourself to look up and see, without any noise, just see and observe and feel it. Feel the connection. If you can walk to a park, be with nature, do it. Do it, and just be in awe of all the small little things, of the sunflower, of the bee. Just be in awe. Just be like a child. We need to invoke more the inner child from us. So move please, breathe more consciously, nasal breathing please, for a healthy body and a mind. And understand as well that through all these things, you will be able to release a lot of stress and tension and traumas, which, for example, if you need help, support, I can help you with. Because a lot of the past stories, programs, limitations, if you feel like you're not good enough, not worthy enough, if you feel you've got blocks that you can't overcome, if your business isn't striving anymore, your health isn't going the right direction, all these things, I'm here to help. I'll be privileged to have a call with you. I'll be privileged to discuss your goals and dreams. So via Instagram, I'll be tagged under here, mifit_coach. If it's a business, please, same thing. I love to help corporations, organizations, businesses, because obviously as well, then my 1 hour is given to 100 of employees or 50 employees. So there's a bigger impact and scale then as well. And so that's, if you're on LinkedIn, under my full name, Piotr Ciepiel. So again, I'll be definitely under this episode, my full name, LinkedIn. And feel free to connect in regards to breathwork, meditation, movement, physical, mental well-being, and maybe even like deeper connecting with what really you want from your life. If you're in search of your purpose, I will connect you with your energy, because that's exactly where you should be looking for the purpose, the mission. The energy will tell you all, the gut feeling. And then, I've got free YouTube masterclasses. I've got free trainings there as well. My website, mifitcoach.com. So, you can definitely do services. I want to be of service. I want to serve. I'm here to serve. I've gone through my battles, my obstacles, my challenges. Not using the word problems, you can always, wherever you are, whatever you had so far in your life, you can always overcome them. With a little belief, with a little help and guidance, you can. Thank you so much for all your time and for your presence. Thank you, Zishan.
I really love that, and thank you for sharing this wonderful gift at the end for people to take away, right? So that you are approachable by so many avenues, LinkedIn, Instagram. Instagram will be tagged anyway because we are here. And when this episode goes in onto as a podcast version, which will be a few months down the line, I will be tagging your Instagram in the description anyway, so they can find you via Instagram and then go on to other avenues where they can. And I usually ask the guests at the end, to leave the listeners with something they would love everybody to take away. But you've shared so much already as well. But opportunities, I can't take that opportunity away from you as well. So I will ask you, so what would you like to tell people or give people to take away from today's episode as a wrap-up comment?
That the power is already in you. You've got the power, and the power is in your breathing. Once you connect with your breath, you're connecting to your entire body, entire system, and you're able to truly invoke something so beautiful that you don't even know that you have in you. You are an eternal soul. You're limitless. All the limitations that have been put on top of you have nothing to do with you. They are from social upbringing, programs, everything. The news, advertisement, it's all there. And once you understand that, and true breathing, which, again, we might finish off as well with kind of doing the same as we came in by placing one hand on your heart, whichever resonates.
We can do
one
it, yeah.
hand. Thank you, Zishan. And one hand on your stomach, and even rub your stomach. Be proud of that stomach. It's a good stomach. It's a good belly. And now let's breathe in through the nose, into the diaphragm, expanding the diaphragm so the belly expands. And softly breathe out through the mouth, like you'll be breathing out through a straw. And one final breath in, inhale, inspire, and exhale. Let go of all the tension and all the stress, coming back to your body, coming back to this moment of gratitude that you were here present with all of us, with Zishan, with myself, and I'm forever grateful for all of you. Thank you very much.
That is far beyond the best episode I have ever actually had on the Tuesday Talk. So you topped my guest list so much. It's like, oh wow, to start with such an amazing breath work and end on such an amazing calm as well. It's just amazing, right? So everybody who is listening to this Tuesday Talk Live with us now, I trust that you followed the guidance that we shared here, and you were also able to do the breath work with us. And if you're now listening to this on a rerun, which is left on Instagram forever until it's there, or you're listening to this on a podcast version in a few months' time, which will be released, and I trust that you were able to then do these exercises with us at the beginning, and we just did now at the end, and continue to do that. So if you need that guidance, reach out to Piotr for it, or come back to this episode just for that beginning breath work. If you need that guidance, is there now, so you can keep coming back to it if you need to. It was right at the beginning of the episode, which is fantastic. And then continue just listening to it as Piotr does whilst he's doing his stretch work. So you can do that. So it's a whole thing there. And I love that. So everybody else who's been now tuned into this Tuesday Talks, if you found any inspiration in this episode from listening to myself and Piotr, it's now our duty to share this with others. We shouldn't keep the inspiration with us. If there was a spark or something that just ignited in you, we need to do the same for others. Get that spark and ignition in them as well, because that's all we need, is a spark to get that first step moving. Because we don't know who's gone to bed or woken up this morning thinking of a better day, and this might just get them doing that, just get them to have a better day. So we don't know. Tag anybody who just came to your mind when I was saying this, or throughout the episode you thought of a person that they should be listening to it. Tag them so they can listen to it, or send them the episode. Share it, because that's our duty, to share the inspirations with others. Don't just keep it to ourselves. Piotr, thank you very much for your conversation.
I'm just giving you a hug. I'm giving a hug. I'm giving a hug, everyone.
Here we go. We are at the hugs. Yes.
And high fives. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you very much, everybody, and Piotr. we'll see everybody else next Tuesday with another amazing guest.
Thank you so much. See you all on Instagram. See you all. Mwah. Mwah. Love you all. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.